Right, I think we're live everywhere we need to be live. Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Oh my! It normally comes up
You're
on my phone.
frozen.
Yeah, it's there. Oh no!
Oh, you're back. You're
Mm.
frozen. Your picture's frozen.
So is yours. Mine's okay. You're there like that with a smile on your face. Oh no! You're frozen.
It's like it's going. You know, when it goes round in circles, like loading.
Oh, okay. You're back now.
Can you
Oh,
see me, Nicki?
yeah, I can see you and I can hear you.
Oh no, she can't even. She's not even responding.
Who?
If anyone's on, give us a. Let us know if you can hear us.
Can you hear me, Christine? Oh dear, I think we may have tech issues. Christine has left the building. Oh, it's me by myself now. I don't know if Christine can join back in or we have to start again. Let's just give it a few seconds and see if Christine... Oh, hello.
Really weird. It chucked me out, and I was just watching it on here, and I was like, "Is Nicki still live, or is it completely stopped?"
Okay, so we're all
Hi, everyone.
sorry about that. Tech issues. Welcome.
Only human.
Yeah, we're only human. So today we're talking about the effect our mind has on our mental and physical ability when running a successful business. Christine's actually not feeling that well today. She's got a bit of a sore throat and she's got a cough. So she's sucking on a sweet and she's asked me to do most of the talking today. So I'll be doing most of the talking and she will just like all we do, we jump in, don't we? And explain. So I'll start off. So the effect our mind has on our mental and physical well-being when we're running a business. So we love a saying by Vince Lombardi, and he says it's not whether you get knocked down again, it's whether you get up again. And I was thinking that's also a song. We get knocked down, but we get up again, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, and I think that me and Christine have had a fair share of being knocked down in business, and it's really true. It's about being consistent and getting yourself back out there and getting yourself back up, and don't stay knocked down for too long. So as we know, our mental strength, our mental well-being, as well as our physical, is the key to life. It is the key in running a successful business. And if we haven't got our mental strength and our well-being, then our business is going to suffer, and ultimately we could lose our business, and obviously it affects our whole life, not just our business. So we all go through challenges in life. We often talk about that. We can't help the challenges, but the challenges we experience in life can affect our business in more ways than what we think. So we've spoken about this before. We've got stress that is caused by external factors. So stress is caused by something like a death, or it could be work related, it could be financial, it could be a certain trauma that you've experienced in your past life. But what happens with stress being an external factor is it normally goes away once the stress has been taken away, or when that has been resolved. So coming to terms with a death, it doesn't mean that we're always going to remember that person, but over time things start to get a little bit easier. Stress, like with money and financial, soon as we've got our finances up and running and we started making money, we don't feel stressed because that that has been resolved. So, but anxiety is more caused by internal factors. So it's our mind and our body's way of reacting to uncertain and stressful situations, and it leaves us feeling apprehensive or dreading something, even when there's no obvious signs of threat or anything around. So getting up and running a successful business, if you're having anxiety, is coming from an internal factor, and it's your mind's way of trying to keep you safe because you're stepping out of your own comfort zone. You don't know your comfort zone, sorry, you're stepping out of it, and you don't know what's going to you don't know what's going to be you don't know what's going to be happen you don't know what's going to be happening and you don't know what's going to happen, but there's no sign of stress or anything or threat around, nothing's happened, but you automatically integrate that anxiety internally. So how you look after your mindset and your well-being will impact your physical and mental health, and it'll also impact on your business as well. Anything to add so far, Christine?
No.
Keep going.
Wait, yep, keep going.
Okay, so unfortunately, as we know, we're not going to be able to stop all challenges. It's part of life, it's part of how we grow, it's part of our successes, and it's part of learning. It's part of our experience that we entwine into our psyche, into our soul, and it becomes part of us. But how we respond to things makes a difference. So, as we know, many of you probably know, but we just go over it again. Our mind is programmed to keep us safe. And this is why we tend to stay in our comfort zone and stick with what we know. So, this results in many ways of us self sabotaging at a deeper level without us knowing that we're doing it. So, as our business grows, so do our responsibilities as we face new challenges and new experiences, which cause common symptoms in entrepreneurs, which we've heard about, such as stress, anxiety, and burnout. And this can result in our heads feeling like it's under pressure, like we're going to explode. We don't know what to do, where to go. Our heads all discombobulated. We're running on our stress and anxiety hormones, and it's like a whirlpool that's spinning out of control. And it may seem, as we've heard from some entrepreneurs, is that it feels like our mind is actually, we're going crazy. We are actually feel like we're going mad. And this could also manifest as depression and being stuck in your own head, as some people like to call it. So when we're in this state, it can result into us making wrong decisions and wrong choices, and adapt unhealthy habits. And we see this a lot because then people see this as an outlet. This is where addictions come from. It's where people find something else to help them get out of their pain, and they use an external thing to try and help them. But as we all know, like we all have certain habits, like mine's eating, for instance. But as I know that bit of chocolate or binging on something when I'm feeling angry or down or feeling overwhelmed, it's only a short-term fix. So I will feel better for that short amount of time, but then after a while, then I'm like, oh no, why did I do that? So we want to if we're honest, it's how we try and escape from our own mind and our own feelings. And if we're truly honest with ourselves, we know when we're doing this. I know, and I recognise when I do that. I'm aware of that. I'm sure you are, Christine, as well.
I am more now, not like years ago I didn't. I used to just eat anything and everything.
Yeah.
And it weren't till I was like kind of working on myself, like losing weight, working on my like personal development and like my lifestyle and that it was like through learning that I was doing around kind of nutrition and eating and stuff and now so then I am more aware of it, because then I look back on what's triggering it.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
then what's the reason? And sometimes, like, I think that I'm eating and it's an excuse, it's boredom. So it's not necessarily that I'm stressed or depressed or whatever. It can be out of boredom, but it's that next thing that I do. So perhaps that I don't know, people that smoke, they probably smoke way too many fags a day, but half the time it might just be like, oh, they'll have a fag because it's boredom, or I'll open a bottle of wine, I'm bored, or do you know what I mean? Or I'll go down the betting shop, or whatever addiction it is.
Yeah.
It's all, you know what I mean? But I am definitely aware of it, and I think, right, okay, like for us ladies, like time of the month, or might be stuff around that as well. So it might not be just related to that I'm stressed and busy and
Yeah.
stressed and like burnt out from business. But yeah, definitely more aware of it.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that's the key thing, is having that awareness, and you can see the patterns that you
Mhm.
developed, and some of them are unhealthy. But as soon as we get to realize and we are aware of the patterns that we do, we can then start to try and change it.
Yeah.
Not always going to do it. We always slip back at times. It's not about perfection. No one's perfect. We all know that no one's perfect, and we do get things wrong, and that's okay. It's okay if we take our foot off the gas, and we are aware of it, but we still do it anyway. And sometimes then that's okay. But it's having the awareness that we're not going to do it all the time. We take control of it instead of it can take control of us. So obviously we know, and you know, if you've got an unhealthy attachment to something, and if you have, and you're honest with yourself and think, yeah, this is what I do, and I this is becoming more unhealthy, and it's an unhealthy attachment to something, then please reach out to support. You can reach out to support for us as well, to help you break the cycle. So it's interesting, isn't it? Because I was thinking, we all have materialistic things in our life, such as, and obviously we're going to need that as entrepreneurs in our businesses, laptops and phones and our cars and whatever else we have. And we often tend to upgrade them, don't we? Often, or do something like that. But unfortunately, what we realise and what we see in people running their successful businesses is that they upgrade technology, they upgrade business coaches, they upgrade laptops and things like that. But unfortunately, some people don't realize the importance of upgrading their own mindset and well-being. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, definitely. It's an
It,
investment you don't prioritize, and it should be a priority. And all right, yeah, I know we upgrade our phones in that every couple of years, but it's just them, like them things, I don't know, that you I don't know what I'm saying.
I know what
Carry
you
on.
mean.
Yeah.
So what happens is, then when we don't look after our well-being, our mindset, then mental exhaustion builds up over a period of time, and our mind and body will, not may, need to start will need a break. And if we don't invest in our mindset and well-being, and listen to our bodies, our mind, and work on them, then physical illnesses manifest in our bodies over time. And it's important to then take time and rest and reevaluate then how we can move forward. So a lot of entrepreneurs, and not even entrepreneurs, people in general, everybody, when they're not working on their own mindset and well-being, what happens is, over periods of time, they block things out, they block things out, they block things out, and they carry on and they carry on and they carry on. The mental exhaustion hits, and then, like I said, our bodies manifest illnesses. So our bodies will then hold on to all of the things that we've been suppressing over time and manifest as an illness. So once that has happened, then it's really time to stop and rest, so our body and mind can recover and reevaluate how you can move forward. So to have a healthy mind, we need to build resilience. We all know resiliency was a key word years ago. Me and Christine has been coming from a therapy background. We used to go to, before COVID hit, a lot of seminars and conferences. And one of the conferences years ago was all about resilience. And it's true. We have to have resilience in our life, and that is one thing I hear a lot of parents say, I just want my children to be happy. we all want our children to be happy, but I don't want that for my children. Obviously, I do want them to be happy, but for me, I want them to have resilience, because once you have resilience in your life, whether you're a business owner or not, the rest will follow. But how do we build resilience? How do we do that? So as business owners, we believe it's important to learn how to be flexible and know that things change constantly in business. And sometimes circumstances that arise in our business can be upsetting, but we need to learn how to adapt to these changes so that we build our resilience to know that change is happening and that's okay, and to be able to work with it. And sometimes it's hard and difficult, we find, to that people to look at a bigger picture, and often we are focused on what we planned, and we are set by the plan, and we follow the plan. And in our experience, when you widen your perspective, it helps us to view situations and experiences in a positive way. We've had lots of experience in our business being entrepreneurs, that once we've actually stood back and looked at the bigger picture of things and where things are going, as opposed to just looking at one tiny plan and being focused on that, it really has helped us to carry on and become more resilient. Because in the beginning, we and not to like past in the like in the past, there are times where we've wanted to give up, and that's no word of a lie, we're just being honest with you. But being resilient is a real it absolutely helps with your mindset and your well-being, and a key way to be able to do that is to be look at the bigger picture. So because we often realize that if something doesn't work out as you planned it to do, then it is a learning curve. And actually, it normally is, what we find, we're quite spiritual as well, it's the universe's way of telling us that something else is coming that's bigger and better, and it's a new way of looking at a bigger picture. So if your plan doesn't work out, instead of staying focused on it not working out, try accepting that that's okay, and the reason why it hasn't worked out is because there's something bigger and better coming, and have the resilience to know it's a learning curve and try to adapt that plan that you once had. Have you got anything to add to that, Christine?
No, because I think like over the last kind of like couple of years, might as well just round it up to 2 years in COVID times really. But like everyone's had to readapt, and we was all faced with like challenges then, and who knew that that was going to happen last year and whatever. So you would have had to have adapted. So there might have been a lot that you maybe not so much this year, but more last year that you already had planned. Like when you're in business, you might have some like seminars and workshops and stuff that you're planned to go to, but then you might also have had your own events that you had plans that then you had to cancel or whatever. So we've all kind of had to adapt. So it's just a prime example that, and that might have been really, really challenging, but that's what we want to help and support people to have that kind of like care on their own mindset, that they can bounce back once they've got the resilience. They can bounce back a lot quicker. So that when me and Nicki are a little bit kind of like, I definitely years ago did not have any resilience, so I noticed how far I've come, so it is really important.
Definitely. And I think it all starts with self-belief as well. So if you
Yeah.
that you can, and you can achieve, or you can do something, then you will, because you're planting that seed, if you like, into your psyche, into your core, into your soul, and into your brain. It changes the dynamics, doesn't it, and the neural pathways in the brain when you speak positively to yourself. If you say you can't, then you won't be able to do it. It's what you put in. It's like a computer system, isn't it, Christine? What you
Mhm.
put into it, what you program into it, you get it out. So it's really important the way we speak to ourselves as well. And many business owners will have had doubts about running a successful business, just like we did, as we explained before. But we always knew that we were put on this planet to do bigger and better things. And that's why we chose to become an entrepreneur, exactly like you have. There's no There was no mistake you becoming an entrepreneur. Yet for whatever reason, you knew that you was worth more, or that you didn't want to be an employee. So you knew you wanted to run your own business, and you had a great idea that was going to support and help and many others, not just yourself. You had a bigger picture. So we see lots of entrepreneurs trying to find validation in what they do and what they offer, and we know because we done exactly the same. So seeking your own permission, seeking your own validation, seeking your own truth will help you to stay in your lane and not be overwhelmed or burnt out or get FOMO that it's going to affect your well-being in running your business. And it's okay to take time to process what you need to. It's okay to take a break when you need to. And you've got to remember, if you're not okay, then your business is not okay. So, and we know that coming from mindset trainers, we know that if our mindset isn't right, then we don't want to do. We don't want to. We wouldn't want to go live. We wouldn't want to show up. We wouldn't be consistent. And sometimes it's more of a struggle than at other times. But we know that if we're not okay, then ultimately our business won't be okay. If our business is not okay, our clients won't be okay, and it has that ripple effect, doesn't it? So
Yeah.
stay in your own lane, and know, seek your own validation, your own permission, and your own truth, and do what you do best, because you know your business inside out.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Sometimes we have to just push through. Sometimes we're not kind of like, you just need to, but then it's about having that awareness, and then, like I said, what is the reason? Why are you feeling tired, or are you not sleeping well? What could that be? Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like sitting down and looking at everything, and thinking like, right, okay, well, where can I step back in that to give me a little bit more time, or what can I, do you know what I mean? Finding what works for you, because obviously everyone on here's lifestyle and businesses, times, availability is all different. So we can't tell you to be like, do this, do that, do that. Everyone has to choose what works for you. But that's why we're here, and we kind of like show up, even sometimes when we're not feeling it, um because obviously we know the importance of it, and without doubt, like Nicki has said, that we've struggled so much, but we have been consistent. We have kind of like pushed through. We could have easily given our pages a go,
Yeah.
because obviously not so much our well-being, but our mindset, and that kind of limiting beliefs, and that kind of like not believing in yourself, and comparing yourself with other people, and I guess in moments in not staying in your own lane, and that FOMO. That's where it's kind of come up a lot for us, and we do, unfortunately, because we're so surrounded by social media and stuff, that we just get sucked into what other people are doing, and if they're doing something similar, and then you might kind of compare yourself, and it can bring you down, and it's kind of like finding ways to not allow that to happen, or at least keep happening.
Mm. And like we say, that key word resilience, it's okay, because they would have been at that place at the start of their journey at some point, and they've been there,
I don't
and
know how long they've been in
it's,
business to
yeah,
like their struggles they've had,
yeah.
and even if they're doing really well in business and successful, they still are faced with challenges anyway. So and they're not gonna, I mean, I know that some people do share their challenges on social media, but at the same time they don't always, and there's probably more challenges that you're unaware of. So we get caught looking and thinking, oh, they've got really successful business, and they might even be people that you know, and you might know that they only started their business in 2018. Do you know what I mean? And you started your business in 2018, and you're like, well, how are they doing well and I'm not doing well? Or how are they, do you know what I mean? So me and
It,
Nick are guilty of it. So we know it happens. We know it's not just a made up kind of thing that we're sharing, because we do, don't we?
we've been in that place, and that's why we can support others, because we know that our mindset has suffered, and not only just been in business but in our personal lives as well in the past. And
Yeah.
but we've got the tools and techniques coming from our background of mindfulness teacher and our therapy background and now training, that we know we've got the tools and techniques to be able to help us and pull us back into the present moment and stay in our own lane. And it's okay to be envious is the wrong word, but it's okay to look at people and think, do you know what, they've done really well, they've been really successful,
Mhm.
what they've achieved, and not have it the other way that you're jealous of them, because
Yeah,
then
use it as a drive to motivate yourself.
not as a negative that is going to
Yeah,
be down. So yeah.
yeah, definitely. Has anyone got any questions? I'm not too sure if anyone's on. I know Stanislava's just kind of commented. She said, "Hello, ladies. I'm here as well."
Hey Stacey.
And yeah, so I'm not too sure if anyone else is on. If anyone's got any questions,
Put them in the
we'd love to have some feedback as well because this is our third live this month. So we'd love to have some feedback if anyone's on there, goes back and watches it later. Like, what do you think? Is it helpful? We'd really appreciate having some feedback. Is it the way that we present, or anything would be really good. And if you've got any questions or anything that we can support you with, please reach out to us.
yeah, please do. Thank you for listening. Thanks for having us, and we'll catch up with you soon.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.